Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Sankar, Group Vice President, Product Management at Oracle. He joins me to discuss the future of AI in finance. Hari, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you, Jill. It's great to be here.
You got it. What are the benefits to implementing AI and generative AI in the finance function? How will finance leader define success criteria?
So the two-part question, let me tackle the first part first. We do believe that AI and generative AI will have the power to transform literally the finance function over the next coming years. Let me call out three key aspects to this. We think the finance function will become significantly more automated than it is today. A lot of repetitive tasks will get executed through AI and automation, so finance folks can focus on higher value-added processes and tasks. That's number one. Number two, we think decision-making will become a lot more driven by data and insights from data. That's not to say the human instincts and judgment are becoming any less important, but I think data-driven insights will shape a lot of decision-making in finance, and that'll be a good thing. The third thing is finance will become much more connected as a function. So, CFO will be seen more as a strategic advisor to the rest of the business and less as just a bookkeeper. So it'll become a connected function. So those are three aspects in which finance is going to transform. The second part of your question in terms of, how should finance leader define success criteria? Our advice to finance leaders is, sort of temper your expectations a little bit. Start slow and then sort of raise the bar over time. So start with metrics related to adoption, usage, accuracy, timeliness, things like that. Things like accuracy, they'll come over time with adoption and with usage. If a human forecaster is 80% accurate in their forecast, don't expect the AI algorithm to be 95 or 99% accurate. Give it some time to get better. It'll get better over time. So our advice to finance executives is, start slow, keep the bar realistic, and raise the bar over time as people get more comfortable using AI and generative AI technologies.
What do CFOs need to bear in mind now when it comes to the implications of implementing AI in the finance function?
So the first off, I would say, like I said at the beginning, AI and generative AI have significant power to transform the finance function. So don't underestimate the potential. Do not take a wait and watch type of approach. The time is now to act. Okay, that's my first piece of advice. That said, overall, the finance function has had less experience compared to some of the other functions like front office functions like marketing in adopting AI and generative AI technologies. So keep that in mind. So while it's important to think big, start small and define realistic success criteria. Like I said, focus on adoption, focus on building trust and confidence in the user community within finance, and then the benefits will come over time. So be realistic in your expectations, number one. Number two, this is natural to CFOs. They understand this very well, but keep this at the front of your thinking. Finance users tend to be a skeptical bunch. They have a show me type of attitude. So keep that in mind. So they demand accuracy. They demand, transparency. They do not easily buy into black box models. And they value security very much because finance data is obviously very, very sensitive. So keep those criteria front and center in terms of when you start rolling out, AI and generative AI-based technologies into your organizations.
What type of workforce impact should finance leaders keep in mind as they begin implementing AI and Gen AI into their workflows?
Great question. While, as I said, AI and generative AI have a lot of potential, there are also some concerns out there. And especially because, finance has not been a leader for good reason in terms of adopting these technologies. They've been sort of taking a wait and watch approach for a little bit. So keep in mind, employees have some concerns, legitimate concerns about the negative impact of AI on jobs. Don't dismiss these concerns, pay attention to them, address them proactively. Our counsel to CFOs and finance executives is that, address these concerns through channels such as education, peer group conversations, and positive overall communications, right? Believe that CFOs should believe that AI and generative AI are here to complement and empower employees, not to replace them. And that belief should be very strongly and in very clear terms communicated to their employees. That's very, very important. And secondly, as I said before, finance users have a healthy level of skepticism around any new technology. So keep that in mind. So invest in capabilities that provide a level of transparency. If there is a predictive model, make it explainable. That is, if a model is making a prediction, just take the time to provide information on, here are the 3 factors that are behind the prediction. And you may not be able to come up with a mathematical formula to explain this. That's easy to communicate. But at least say, hey, these are the 3 factors that are most important, most relevant in this particular prediction. That if that aligns with their intuition, they'll buy into it. And at Oracle, we'll talk about this later, we're investing in these technologies for what we call as explainability, to make the models more transparent, easier to understand for users. That's very important. So those are some of the areas to pay attention to.
So over the course of the next year, which types of tasks do you realistically expect to see finance leaders tap AI and Gen AI to assist with?
So let's start with Gen AI, because Gen AI is clearly the hot new technology that's captured everybody's imagination over the last 12 or so months. In the finance context, we think, finances has been about numbers. It's all about numbers. But I think generative AI brings a different dimension to it. It's sort of the left brain, right brain kind of thing. Generative AI brings the ability to tell the story, tell the context, tell a narrative around the numbers. And that's going to be very, very useful in the finance context. We see a number of use cases around this narrative generation using generative AI. Let me give you a concrete example. Every month, every quarter, people in financial planning and analysis, they put together these management reports. The management reports usually include narratives. Sections of management reports can be generated very effectively using Gen AI capabilities. I think that's going to be a very important use case going forward in the finance function. That'll get a lot of adoption, because it's not that people are going to automate the generation of narratives entirely, but I think a great first or second draft can be generated using Gen AI, which can then be improved upon by finance people. Okay, so that's an example on the Gen AI side. On the traditional AI side, which is the more data science-based predictive models and so on, we believe that predictive models, the use of predictive models and forecasting will ramp up quite significantly for all kinds of forecasts, for revenue forecasts, for expense forecasts, for cash forecasts, and so on. I mean, this has already been sort of gaining traction over the last few years. And I think the widespread recognition of the potential of AI, thanks to generative AI and its impact, will ramp up the adoption of predictive models and forecasting. And last but not least, let me give you one more example. And I think, the use of pattern recognition algorithms, AI-based pattern recognition algorithms, to pick up key insights from data. The insights can be related to variances, they can be related to biases or anomalies or outliers. These will sort of gain adoption. So I think those are 3 areas I want to call out as immediate sort of low-hanging fruit for finance use cases.
And finally, Hari, in the last minute here, how is Oracle approaching the future of AI and Gen AI in finance and helping customers to harness these technologies?
As you can probably tell, we're very excited about the potential of AI and Gen AI. And we've been investing in traditional AI technologies for the last 7 to 10 years. And we've been steadily rolling out capabilities using our model of continuous innovation, especially on the application side. We've delivered capabilities related to predictive modeling and forecasting, the use of automated insights and their value in driving database decisions. These are things that we've already delivered, and we have a very vibrant roadmap for delivering generative AI capabilities over the coming months. We have a track record of delivering already generative AI capabilities, and we have a very active roadmap to deliver new capabilities on top of that. But let me sort of pause and tell you about the approach we are taking. The approach we are taking is, deliver these capabilities seamlessly in the process flow of applications in an embedded sort of way. So we don't expect finance users to be experts in AI. We don't expect them to understand how these models work. These will be embedded into the process flow of applications, so it's very easy to use. We use 3 words to describe our approach. It's seamless, it's contextual, and it's very intentional. So that's how we are rolling out these capabilities in a way that's very easy for finance users to adopt. And we believe that when generative AI and traditional AI technologies come together, they have the power to not just improve productivity. Everybody's talking about productivity gains. We believe the combination of Gen AI and AI can be game changers in terms of delivering really compelling value by impacting key business processes like forecasting or cash management and so on. So we are very excited about the potential, and we are delivering this in a way that's easy for our customers to consume in the context of their applications.
Okay, Hari, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you, Jill.